UFC London is coming up this weekend, and today, guys, I have the complete betting guide for you with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. Sorry if you can't hear my notification. We are going to mute that right now, guys. We are going to be going through the channel betting recap, my confident picks, underdog opportunities, fights that I believe you should not be betting on, my personal lock of the week, and then we're going to close things out with the more fun part of the video, that being looking for any props that are available and some fun parlays. Again, timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Let's get started with the channel betting recap. Now, I was keeping things incredibly small this time around because, of course, you guys would know if you were watching the channel, I hated the previous card for betting, and that really go to show, okay? So we had one official play, that being Damon Blackshear to win by submission or decision. He ended up getting the job done, and honestly, to win by submission or decision, that was good odds for Damon Blackshear. And of course, for the fun parlay, which is just a bet that we throw up there for $5 every week, but don't necessarily expect it to hit, just some fun picks. Ryan Spann, oh my god, I always say never to bet on Ryan Spann, but I threw him to the fun parlay because I actually did like his chances for like being at the heavyweight division. Man, never bet on the guy ever in a million years again. But our official play did hit Damon Blackshear to win by submission or decision. If you guys are interested in either supporting the channel or seeing exactly what I'm doing with my money each week, then you can check out the channel membership, which is very cheap compared to other channels, in the description, pinned comment, or right next to the subscribe button. Every single Thursday, Friday, or Saturday morning, depending on if I want to bet any Friday fights or not, I will be posting a community members post along with a members only video explaining exactly what I am doing with my money each week. If you'd like to either support the channel, like I said, or see what I'm doing with my own money. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Also, check out OddsJam while we are here. It's a tool that we're going to use for props. If you guys are interested, the pinned comment description down below for that too. Use code Clenbat. You can get a discount signing up for OddsJam. With that being said, though, guys, let's get started with the confident picks. The first confident pick that I have for you guys is going to be Christian Leroy Duncan. Now, I have a little bit of an issue, okay, with this card because there are quite a few fights where I can be like, you know what, like, I could see this one falling through. So I'm going to be careful again this card with what I am going to be betting on. But of course, out of every fight on the card, Christian Leroy Duncan is one of the more confident picks that I have over here. While I don't think that he should be the big favorite that he is, I do like his UFC experience. I do like the striking advantage and his improving game all around. He seems to be all business. I love to see how much he's been improving fight to fight, besides, of course, his disappointing loss to Gregory Rodriguez. Other than that, he's had a really clean run in the UFC, improving from fight to fight. And Andre Puliev, honestly, he is a very capable fighter, but I do like in this matchup Christian Leroy Duncan. By the way, if you guys are new to the channel by any chance, we do have a full card breakdown already up, diving as deep into these fights as we could possibly get. These betting guide videos are a little bit more of a recap on how I'm feeling about fights. So, different idea with this next confident pick, okay? I almost had this fight on the do not bet. I am so tempted to just bet on Morgan Charrier. Nathaniel Wood is fantastic. I think he's a very great fighter. I have a gut feeling that Morgan Charrier really is just going to have that like little bit of an edge to get the job done. And even like he's been perfect coming into the UFC so far. I know that he had the loss of Chevy Mariscal. I believe this to be a robbery. I love what I've seen from him. I've just been more impressed by Morgan Charrier, and I think he'll go very far in the division. But the problem is, I think both guys are going to go very far. I almost had this fight on fights to avoid. I don't know. The gut feeling on that one, guys. Gut feeling on this one. Let's continue on to the final confident pick I have for you guys, and that is going to be Carlos Ulberg. Now, I would feel a lot differently about this fight if Jan Blachowicz was in his prime, but Jan Blachowicz is coming off of a very long layoff, almost 2 years against the Alex Perez split decision loss. I know he's had knee issues, but I don't know if he's been off just because of an injury. I don't know anything about that, but regardless, Jan Blachowicz has had recent injuries. I don't like that he's going on 43 years old, taking on a guy like Carlos Ulberg. While he is just exiting his prime, the dude is very young in his career and doesn't have a ton of miles on his body, and I would imagine that, as much as I would hate to see it, I would imagine that Carlos Ulberg will just completely outwork Jan Blachowicz. He's probably going to show up slower. Ring rust is real. I hope Jan Blachowicz gets a job done, and skill for skill, I would pick Jan Blachowicz, but for the circumstances of this fight, Carlos Ulberg is a confident pick of mine. Now, guys, let's get on to a couple underdog opportunities I have for you. These are not bets of mine. These are not necessarily picks of mine. It's just if you're targeting any sort of value, upsets here wouldn't shock me one little bit. Let's talk about it. So the first one is going to be Puja Tomar. Do I think she's going to win this fight? No. The UFC really, really wants some Indian talent. And she is the first female fighter from India. She had so much hype coming about her when she first entered the UFC, and she got a robbery win. Shauna Bannon is the better fighter. Shauna Bannon, the problem too is you can't always count her on her to come out and fight technically. Sometimes she's going to show up and just like throw a 4-punch combination, kind of leaping over her own feet. I'm saying, man, if this is a close fight, I believe they're just going to give it to Pooja Tomar. So skill-wise, I'm not saying that, hey, this is an underdog opportunity. Pooja Tomar might come in and actually look good. No, I'm saying robbery incoming, okay? So look out for Pooja Tomar. Let's continue on. And guys, I can't believe that Felipe DeSantos is at the size of the underdog that he is. I get the hype behind Loner Kavanagh. I get it. He looks great, okay? I actually do believe Felipe DeSantos is going to win the fight. I like that the rate that he's been improving, and I know that he's had 2 recent losses, but take a look at the loss to Manel Kape and Andre Lima. Both of those are fantastic losses, and in the vast majority of fights, he still shows that he's improving, and he still shows that he is in there competing with these guys. I do believe Felipe DeSantos is going to win the fight, and this is a fight that I am highly considering betting on myself. Just for those odds on Felipe DeSantos, I think it's crazy that he's that big of an underdog. Could he lose the fight? Yeah. I'm not picking him to lose the fight, though. I actually do believe Felipe DeSantos is going to get the job done. Let's continue on over to the next bout, Molly McCann. Guys, it's a little bit more of the same over here. First of all, Alexa Thanera is taking this fight on extremely short notice. Molly McCann is from London. They're going to want her to get the job done. She gets the crowd really, really hyped up in London. If it's a close fight, I wouldn't be shocked if they just ended up giving any sort of close fight over to Molly McCann. I don't like the short notice. She is absolutely an underdog opportunity as well. Now, guys, let's continue on to a few fights that I do not believe that you should be betting on. And that first bet is going to be Marcin Tybura. So, Marcin Tybura versus McParkin, but more so because of Marcin Tybura. Marcin Tybura, the day is going to come where he officially looks washed, he looks old, and then he's not the same guy that he once was. I don't know how many times I need to see it now. Marcin Tybura can show up and fraud check anybody, okay? McParkin, I haven't necessarily been impressed by him. Can McParkin win the fight? Yeah. Can Marcin Tybura fraud check him? Yeah. Sometimes he's just one of those fighters that sometimes gets the job done, but he doesn't always win. So, Marcin Tybura, I do not like betting on his fights, period. For that reason, I am going to pass on this one. Let's continue on over the next fight that I do not believe you should be betting on. I have talked about this at great lengths on the channel, so I'm going to keep it very brief for you. Kevin Holland. I will never, ever, ever in a million years ever place a bet on Kevin Holland again. I went against my own advice and bet on him against Reiner de Riddler. That's crazy. I don't know why I did that. I just thought that he was a better fighter. He's like Kelvin Gastelum. He has all the potential in the world. Is he going to win some fights? Probably. But you can't count on him to not show up, to treat it like a sparring match, to have the, he's going to show up and, the clips of him going around with Kevin Holland where it's like, oh, I don't care about the belt, and he's just coping with his losses, and it's obvious that he's just coping. Kevin Holland is not in a good mental state. Kevin Holland has all the talent in the world. He does not commit himself, just like Kelvin Gastelum. I will never in a million years, I don't care who the opponent is, I will never, again, bet on a Kevin Holland fight, and I suggest you guys do the same. It's unpredictable at this point, because I believe him to be the better fighter than Gunnar Nelson. I do, and I believe that a hard-trained, focused Kevin Holland will win this fight. I can't trust him to do that, though. Kevin Holland, I am never betting on again. Let's continue on to the last fight that I believe you guys should not be betting on, and that is Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. I just think it's a 50-50 fight. I really do. Sean Brady's been on a roll. Sean Brady's been improving. Sean Brady's been showing a striking game, but Leon Edwards, you have to wonder what version of Leon Edwards is going to show up to, because he had some pretty piss-poor performances the last couple times that he's been out. But when Leon Edwards is on, he can compete against anybody at the highest level. I just think it's a 50-50 fight. No idea how it's going to go. So I'm going to be skipping this one, and I believe you guys should too. But maybe for this one, you could do some round lines depending on what the odds are. Regardless, let's continue on, guys, over to lock of the weekend. I'm honestly, while this is the fighter on the card that I believe is the most likely to win out of everybody, I'm not feeling lock. But for the sake of the video, we do have to choose a lock of the week. Just keep that in mind, guys, okay? I'm not loving this choice of lock of the week. It's Guram Kutaladze. And I know everybody is no longer on the Guram Kutaladze hype train. I'm not on the hype train either, okay? I believe for this specific matchup, it is very favorable for Guram. Guram probably has the edge in the all-round game, But I imagine this fight will remain on the feet. And while Cal Fernandez is a good fighter, I don't believe his striking is to the level of Guram Kutaladze, and I think that Guram is just going to coast his way to decision. I think that Guram Kutaladze matches up with Cal Fernandez very well, and I believe that he's going to get the job done, and this isn't coming from somebody who is overhyping Guram Kutaladze, okay? So I understand why everybody's off the train. I like this matchup in particular, okay? Let's continue on, guys. Over to the more fun part of the video. Let's take a look at some props to see if there's anything that we can kind of find over here. Starting off with, like, maybe some over 2.5. Over 2.5 for Pusha Tomar and Sean O'Bannon. Honestly, I really don't hate that. I would be, oh no, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Excuse me. I would be shocked, absolutely shocked, if this fight did not go over 2.5 rounds. If it didn't go to decision. I just would never be able to see them finishing each other. Mick Park and Marcin Tybura is an interesting one. Minus 125 for over 2.5. I don't hate that either. I can see that being a very slow-paced fight. That's not bad. That's not bad. Chris Padilla, Jai Herbert. Yeah, I don't really love that one over here. Chris Duncan, Jordan Fusenek. Over 1.5 minus 175. Perhaps a parlay piece over there. Plus money for Kevin Hall and Gunnar Nelson. Hey, that's something that we could take a look at. Honestly, what if Kevin Holland just shows up and is like, hey, I don't give a fuck. You know, like he just starts doing that stuff. Then he might go to decision. But no, I'm not touching a Kevin Holland fight ever again. Sean Brady, Leon Edwards. I can see this going to decision. Over 4.5 minus 142. I don't hate that at all, man. There are a few props. Like, I'm not a big, like, fight go to decision type guy. If I bet props, I like over 1.5 and I like parlaying a couple of them together. But in recent times, man, I haven't been doing parlays at all from MMA. It just seems like it's getting more and more unpredictable. Over 2.5 for Callum Loughran and Nathan Fletcher. I actually don't mind that either. There's a lot of potential over here, guys. There really is a lot of potential. You know what? Maybe for a fun parlay, I'll throw a bunch of these together this weekend. Over 1.5 for Christian Lewer Duncan, Andre Puliev. Nah, I don't like that one. Felipe DeSantos, Owner Kavanaugh. No, I don't like that one either. These two are absolute dogs. Over 2.5. Sometimes when you have dogs like Morgan Sherrier and Nathaniel Wood, those fights could go to decision. Very, very interesting. There's a lot of potential over there. I don't like the Carl Solberg, Jan Blachowicz, but I could see that one being slow-paced too. There might not be a lot of finishes on this card, guys. But let's continue on over to the fun parlay section. Just let's see what we can build over here. It's, again, guys, working on I have to work on getting my OBS scenes correct, okay? Let's pick some fights over here, okay? Let's see what we can build. We make some ridiculous parlays. Christian Leroy Duncan, skipping. Guram Kutaladze, Jai Herbert, Jordan Fusenek, Felipe DeSantos. Such a tough fight, man. Such a tough fight. Mick Parkin. Oh, Mick Parkin because of the London edge, okay? Ooh. Skipping. Nathan Fletcher, I think, is going to win. Morgan Sherrier. Skipping. Carlos Olberg. And we should skip this one too, but I'm going to go Sean Brady. What do we get if we put $50 down? Not bad, but there's no way in hell that hits. There's a lot of underdog opportunities over here too, guys. Like, honestly, there's some big underdogs. Something my sister and I do every weekend. If you're new to the channel, we put 10 cents on every single underdog. One time when we were watching Bellator, we were almost millionaires, and we have been doing it ever since. What does 10 cents get us? $54,000. Not bad. But what about some underdogs like that we actually, now you know what? What is there that we can actually work with? Christian Leroy Duncan is a huge favorite. I still don't think he should be that big of a favorite. So you might have to stick with him as like a parlay piece, eh? Guram Kutaladze, big favorite as well. Adding those two together, I actually don't hate for 1.40. I don't mind that at all, honestly, guys. Like, I'm very confident both of them to get the job done. What else do we have over here? There's some big favorites over here. Felipe DeSantos, man, that's excellent value. I'll probably end up doing that, to be honest with you. What else do we have over here? Sean Brady, Jan Blachowicz. If we want to pick some... Morgan Sherrier would bet by itself. What other bets do I like? Carlos Olberg. I would probably bet that by itself, to be honest with you. I'm a pretty conservative bettor, to be honest, guys. There's not a ton that we can really work with over here. Like, if you want to do Jordan Fusenek even, like, I know some people are hyped up on Jordan Fusenek. I'm not feeling too bad about Jai Herbert over there for that value, too. You can put Christian Leroy Duncan and Jordan Fusenek. It's a little bit better odds if you want to add Guram over there. Not a bad parlay, but, again, it's so tough for MMA parlays nowadays. The game has just been getting tougher and tougher and tougher. But, guys, let me know what you think about the card down below. Check out the full card breakdown where we yap as deep as we could possibly go into those fights. I would love to have you over there. Thank you very much for being here. Take care, everybody.